What's up? It's been a long, shitty 2020. This year's sucked nuts. But anyways, it's Randy's Den of Misery. That's what this year has been. But anyways, it's back. It's like 8 months. It's been just a crappy year. Stuck in a lull. Just annoyance. But anyways, things are changing. Football's on today. The Bills had a nice victory. That's excellent. I'm feeling good. Things are turning around finally. Everything's, all this horseshit shenanigans, fucking infestation is leaving. And these insane fucking whiny people, cocksuckers, are fucking getting it handed to them, finally. So now we can get back to some normalcy. Which, hopefully that is. And a couple things obviously have changed. I'm not waiting till my head is perfect and I feel good and I'm happy and I'm not going to have a verbal frickin' flatterization of hammering and yelling at something. I don't usually even get mad at people. It's stupid inanimate objects make me violent. I feel like they're worthless, and after I keep getting tuned up by the thing, then I wreck it and throw it in the garbage, and then guess what? It's out of my life and I don't have it tormenting me again. With electronics, that can happen a lot. If you have something that it can really, if you're into electronics, you know, you're probably thinking right now of that exact thing that just needles you every most inopportune time. But anyways, yeah, I'm letting it fly. Freaking 2-3 vids a week, no editing, no crap, just slapping them up. Here you go, I got my crap I'm talking about, letting it fly. If I have an outburst, a mental breakdown, you know what, that happens. Not gonna put on this fake phony, oh yeah, today's a good day. This is reality. This is what I deal with. Today was actually a great day. I just to spice it up, to change it, and it's been 8 months. Actually happy. It's a great day, great week actually. Back into the vids, and I mean, if I'm gonna have a temper tantrum, you're gonna see it, and it's going up, just as it is, you know. I'm gonna drop some motherfucker bombs and everything else, but the one thing I gotta watch out for and always keep in the back of my head is I didn't realize this or have any idea, but come to find out my nephews and my niece actually like watch my videos or like following them, like but I was very good. I at least tried to be really good about even like mother flipping thing and like never even dropping the real words, like flarp that, you know, just anything to not really say the actual words. But I'll make sure that this video they don't, I tell them not to watch it. There's nothing good that goes on. It's me screaming, yelling, and making a fool of myself. And yeah, real quick, I wanted to talk about lithium-ion batteries, which everyone talked about. Who cares? Dude, there's 30 million people that are on YouTube making videos. So who cares? Don't freaking, oh, we need to subscribe, smash this, smash that. Go smash your nuts in a vice, all right? Who cares? Whatever. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I like to do it. And I like the things that I'm working on for me because of memory, brain damage issues. Say it actually is worked out where I can look back at a video and say, oh, okay, this is what I did. That's maybe what has caused me the problem where I'm at here. Where instead of saying I don't remember if I checked that over or didn't, because that's how bad it gets sometimes. There's, you know, it's the whole deal with meds and everything else and whatever. I mean, I do have really good doctors. I've seen enough of them along the line to finally get there to the doctors. And real quick, just if you want to know if you got a good doctor or not, when you first meet them, if they're talking more than you're talking, probably probably don't want to come back. And they always make sure, yeah, we'll make sure to see you again in 2 months. Well, they're looking at their schedule, how it perfectly sets. They can have 10 people come in a day for 15 minutes, in and out, and run it like a well-oiled machine. Just keep the freaking money just rolling in. They don't care that you got to see another doctor. And oh yeah, I have, my friend he specializes in da-da-da-da-da. And you get that, and you're passed on down the ladder. It's kind of the game you got to play. That it's the way it's set up. It's the way it is. The way it is with the insurance and everything. And what else? But don't get me wrong. There is good doctors out there. You really kind of got. Now them are the ones that are going to be hard to get to. You kind of almost have to hunt for them. But just honestly, I could tell you within 5 minutes. It should be the doctor sits down and asks you a relative question about. And then it's like you're all ready to, because you can't start here. There's always a huge buildup if you've been through testing and CAT scans and MRIs and all that bull that goes along with it to prove that you're not, oh my God, what was it? I'm not, some wrong word that people have with their brain and issues. They ruled that out because that sounded like that's what it was. I can't remember the name of it. That's going to be the other. I mean, I have a freaking shit mush brain sometimes. Sometimes I'm on the ball, bang, 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 and like snapping your fingers, it goes to shit like that. And what were we talking about? I forget. Yeah, like that bad. So, but anyway, I need two 12-volt batteries. I need to stack them together. As in, for a stupid little motorbike. I want to see what the deal is with the thing. It's sitting outside. I have for a bit. I want to run the motor, see if it works. It's a 24 volt, you know. Well, you know how it is, getting the dumb lead acid batteries. They got to be the right size, and they fit in the thing perfect and that. But, dude, all that is whoosh, right out the window when you're talking lithium ion. So, I get these cells just like this, you know. This one's 2P, what is it, 3S, 2P, 3 series, so 3 and by 2, bang, 2. Comes up to 12 volts, you got 4.2, you got 8.4, and then you got 12.6, I think it is, yeah, 12.6. But this one is what happened. This is actually kind of, I found it to be a rarity with these, but it does happen. You get one that's low. If they're talking, you got to figure lower than 12 volt or 3 volts a cell. So add it up, 3, 6, 9. If I go across, usually it's your end pins, but it's different. Different manufacturers, different rules, different everything. Anyway, check and you'll measure. You use your multimeter. If you don't know how to use that, you probably don't need to be messing with these because these are basically like little sticks of dynamite that if punctured and ruptured and shorted, they can just, and they're fully loaded versus fully charged, we'll say. Yeah, they are like, they got some sick power behind them. They can ignite. But anyways, you get, the voltage drops out to where the board in here won't recognize them. The BMS, the battery management system, it's this board right here. Look at here. And there's always a sticker too. Just a little flippy sticker, flimsy thing. You can take that off. And on this one here, you can see they're brown batteries, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, just because you can measure it and say, hey, if this was doubled up, there's 4 here and there's 4. No, it's not like that. I've seen where they've had 1, 2, 3. To here with the gap out to the end, and then did that the same to the next row. Basically, you're looking at it figuring, oh man, that's got to be double what this is. Judging by size, they're cheating you. They don't even go out to the ends with the things, you know. And they did it with both rows, so I mean, come on. I think it's cheating you, or form factor is that's what fits that exact laptop. Right, because they don't want to have a shortened battery. like this going into a one like that, and then having the gaps here, you know, because some of them even have the little foot thing where that's the corner, whatever, you know. But if you're getting 9 volts or anything like that, is what you got to do is get on your power supply. You sometimes, when they get really low, you might have to crack the whole thing open and find your positive and negative just to verify, because when you start talking millivolts, I mean, my multimeters kind of flip around, depends, I mean, like how, I think like how short my fuse is, or like reading how much jacked up I am or something. They just bounce all over the place, so it's really hard to tell. But once you have like, you know, even a volt, you know that there's your positive, there's your negative. Again, my complaint in watching earlier videos with multimeters is, oh, it's great, the numbers are this big. Well, when you're doing capacitance and it says micro or what was I gonna say? No, micro, nano, pico. It's this, it's that. You can't see the damn thing, and there's a huge difference in that reading. You know, some even the negative sign is kind of small, or it's not as brilliant as it should be. It's like faded just on the edge. You'll see it means negative. It's whatever. But once you get comfortable with your multimeter, but you test the end ones, it's usually them. It's usually the two of the two end ones. Oh yeah, here's the other thing. These, this is how the boards come. It looks like you can't do nothing with it. So what you got to do is grab onto the things and just start twisting back and forth. There's all kinds of small little overlap like this that lock it together, and all you're doing is breaking them. But there's a whole bunch of them, and if you get it lined up just perfect, then you go right down through. There's that many, but you're just snapping them, breaking them. The corners are the toughest, as you can see with this one. I got it pretty much busted open. I got something holding it right here. Anyhow, this is all opened up, so I'm fighting with this is doing that. Oh yeah, see that got wrinkled a little bit, so it wants to get caught up in. It is thick enough that it isn't going to hurt the current capabilities or anything, but you do definitely want to make sure you're positive and negative. Then take your power supply. You're going to want to feed in, you're going to trickle in like 200 milliamps per cell to start off, because you're way under voltage, and they're very suspect, vulnerable, because they're like a capacitor. They'll suck that energy in quick, and it'll like flash them, and by flashing them, it'll scorch the insides. It scorches, they'll heat up even. You can feel them heat up. Heat is not good with lithium ion. Just like when you dump in the capacity of them fast, they'll heat up. And if they heat up too much, you break down the layer. What the hell's the layer? It's not plastic, but it's just a separating layer from the two, the positive and negative, cathode anode, from shorting out. Because if they short out, you get a spark, you get a hot spot, and till that burns out, it could just detonate and walk through the whole battery, which you got a mild explosion going on, you know. But if not, you're hoping that it'll kind of burn. It's like burning a short out in shorting something. You burn out maybe even a bulb shorts it, boom, it pops, you blew the filament out because it's shorted, you know, stuff like that. But they come like this, and it looks like, oh my god, what, you can't tell anything. You can't even find pins or nothing. These actually sit down in here. I'm going to get this up close so you guys can really see it. See how they're padded? This fits right here, and you actually just wiggle it right down and push it right onto the board. So now when it's on all the way tight, I just want to show you how it looks. I don't know if I can hold it, and my hands are in rough shape. If you see this way, that's how it will. It'll be flush right down the board. Take your razor knife, get on one end, get it under there a bit. But remember now, these are pins. These are pins, so you don't want to be stabbing the crap out of them. And be careful even shorting them between them. But you got enough on the edges. You can see how this is bigger than what them all add to. And it's thicker outside on the edges, as you can tell. And get your knife in there, your razor knife, and twist it. And by twisting it, it'll start to wobble off. Usually they're not even mounted down like with any glue or nothing. They're just set, like pressed down on just right. There's enough friction there. And then go to the other end, do the same thing, and wiggle it. And you just kind of walk it right off of the top. Once it pops off, you have this. Now, this could be a very quick, we'll say, pitfall. These, you get it all figured out, fixed up, charged up, and you're mucking around and you get one of these across each other that aren't the right ones, that are wrong. They'd be on the wrong side of the tracks. You're talking meltdown. But, like I did with this one, instead of trying to, now I soldered my positive and my negative, so I can't just slide this one back on without modifying it. Hey, go not super glue, hot glue. Hot glue is your friend. Hot glue is everybody's friend. It's one of my best friends. And now they can't touch each other, right? They're not gonna, hot glue, I really like the hot glue thing with, you gotta be careful with the heat with it. When you start talking things that get warmer, but these with the lithium ion, it's nice, even for keeping cells stationary where you want them when you're making a big pack before you have it like all encased, or you got you don't have the right spacers, or even the spacers go into a case and you still have a doink 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 factor of not everything fitting all tight. You don't want to start putting like foam and plastic down in there really, because that can add to your fire flammability. Hot glue, I drool some in all four like corners, and now you just put like a rubbery gluey, a rubbery stiffish like bumpers in each corner, and if you drop it, it kind of, because you know hot glue is like that. It has like a how am I the word I'm trying to say, schwats and pits and shits. Not any, but any, I don't know, one of them words. And squishy. It's squishy. Yeah, just like that. And there you go. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up here. So this one's all good to go. It was low. First thing I did is I wrote down. As you can tell, I had it all open. And just take these, open them. You don't have to open them all the way up. Okay, this one I haven't. I just actually popped these off. This one was a little different. This was broke. It got damaged or something, so I chipped them off. I just wanted to check the voltage. But see what I'm doing here? Well, I'm hoping not to pop them here. I should have left that strip on here, but I wanted to show it for the video. But you'll see that it's going to break right here. And then, again, your corners, always it's right here. Your corners are always the worst. But if you can hold one spot, the vise works good too. But just twist it and that. This one is really, really stiff. And if I keep really retching it like that, I'm going to end up just torturizing the connections, which isn't really good because it is so flimsy. If it was doubled up, it would be a bigger difference. Like even this one, you know, twisting it a little bit. Look at what's happening, you know. It's popping it all free. Everything's coming free. And be gentle with them, and you can pop it all right back together. You can go in here, figure out what cell is the, if there's one bad cell, it's not going to want to do anything. The board here, the BMS, is figuring that out, saying you have one cell that's too low a voltage. We refuse to recognize anything. So it won't let you charge, it won't do anything. Well, you can charge that one bad cell, and then it, when you go to check it again, it says, okay, I can accept the charge. We're in the ballpark here. Again, 3 volts per cell, say-ish, and you're good to go. Let it roll. And start it charging. Again, you're only going to go slow, so like, what do you got? 6 cells here. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So about an amp. But you got to make sure that amp is getting going to all these at one time. You don't want to be on this one and one, say, in here, and you're only just charging maybe these two that are paralleled up together, right? No, that's not good, because you're just dumping that amp amongst that one, and you'll find a hot spot again. The heat always tells you where your charge is going also. Now, I got this almost to where, see how that just popped free? Now, if I pop it the rest of the way, it's gonna start, is what it's gonna do is break, twist the interlocks and snap them and make them like this, trying to go back together. It's gonna be like fusing dog shit. It's gonna suck balls. So what you're gonna wanna do is kind of just really, again, take your little razor knife. These things you gotta be a little careful. I have dull ones, and then I have one that I have like kind of hidden away. Not hidden away, but hidden away from the ones that I use, because it's just not used much, and it's sharp when these are brand new. Sharpies. But I just dig this in here a little bit, and I just wanna, you know, I mean, I obviously wouldn't be doing that if it was a newer blade, you know. Even fairly used blades that are just sharpened, because I'm cheap, if you know. I sharpen my own. The best thing I got for sharpening is right here. This is, I got this at the dump. Someone threw it out. I don't know what it is. It doesn't even do all that great of a job, because it like doesn't get down in here. It gets up like to here because of the depth deal, like that. Oh me lord, though. These things add up. If you go through 10 a week, that's what, $5 for the dumb things. But then if you run out, it's even more annoying. I sharpen them. I'm cheap. What do you want? Right? In fact, this is just a sleeve or something. Super glue, or hot glued. Again, hot glued in it. But after you wrench on them, as I've been saying, I twist it and turn it, and I'm very abusive with it. It loosens them up, and then you got to reheat it to get it like molten again and let it reset. Nah, I drilled a tiny hole and put a pin right through it. That also holds it in there. Put it through the little hole where they have the little oblong hole. Yeah. So anyways, just get it in here, and you should be able, once you get it started, then you can walk it down through. But it's getting it started that. Now, again, if I just was to bend it around, I'm just going to snap them like, it's going to look like trying to fuse dog shit. It's two turds together. See, I mean, you can see I'm tweaking on this pretty good. These things, you tweak on these razor blades enough, they'll snap, and sometimes they'll really snap because they are hardened. Again, I have this loose enough pretty much where I can do about what I need to. I could snake all these, a whole setup out, work on it right here, find the one that's bad, replace it by pulling off the tab. Pliers like these work excellent. Grab onto the tab, use the battery as itself, and then just keep working it over. You're basically just tearing it away from itself, because they're welded on there, spot welded usually. But to reattach, solder. Solder is your friend. Solder is amazing. But again, pretend when you're soldering, there's videos you're going to want to watch on that. I don't know, I don't remember anything, so I don't know if I did one on it or not. First thing you're going to want to do is get the end nice and clean. Then you're going to want to pre-tin it. Just get some good flux on there. Get a solder bubble on it, right? Let it cool down to 0 again. You know, let it cool down to room temperature. Come back. Again, flux. Yep, that's what stuff's called. Put the new flux back on it. Have everything ready. Get your heat on it. Remember, your tab's got to be tinned up too, right? Start with the heat on your tab. But that's what doesn't need the heat, obviously, because it's thin, there's not much bulk to it. All the heat's dissipated in the battery because it's a big bulky thing, you know. It just soaks up the heat. So you're really going to have to stay on the battery to get it to fuse, to get molten in that. You're better off using a little bit higher heat in less time than you are just barely enough heat to turn it molten and be on it for 10 minutes. Because if that battery is hot enough where you can't hold on to it, yeah, abort mission, cancel Christmas. It's bad news. All right, that's bad news. That's kind of my rule for most electronics. That's the heat. They do like heat. Cold, when they're cold, a lot of electronics kind of like, I always think they're fighting like a cold car started up in the winter. But once they get a little warmth to them, they get rolling, they get going good, you know, they get the oil pumping and that. Obviously there's no oil or nothing, but I think the molecules that they're using, the charges and that, they're flowing. Now, everything's moving, but then you get too hot and now you get other issues going on. So, yeah, I could snake that out of there if I want. I don't want to yet because I want to test them good, but, and then start where you're here, over here, look. I mean, just like that, it went together. These will overlap sometimes. It did. It just overlapped and I got it to go back. You'll probably hear it pop again. There was a big one or something going on over in here. So I'll see if I can. And once you break them the first time, yeah, there it goes. It's much easier.